aka people of Detroit. We wanna put people on. You know what I'm saying? We wanna get the world to know more about Detroit.
Well, what makes us different at the Pod is that we want to have real stories by real people and it displaying real triumphs. At the end of the day, in Detroit, one thing we know how to do is hustle harder.
Yo, y'all already know what it is. It's your boy, Sir LA.
And it's me, your girl, Dahlia.
And y'all in here rocking with the Pod, aka the people of Detroit. Yes. And ladies and gentlemen, we got a very, very special guest in the building today. It's been long overdue for him to come, but God has blessed us with this day for him to grace us with his presence and his energy. You know what I'm saying? We got Mr. Tubi himself in the building.
Y'all are too
Yes. Oh man, we gotta we give you your Detroit flowers right now before we start this interview. Your Detroit flowers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just let y'all know he a legend, and this legend that we have in the building is DeMaris Harvey.
That's love. Appreciate y'all.
Yes.
Clap it up at home.
Appreciate
Yes,
y'all.
indeed.
Yeah. So, man, appreciate you coming through, rocking with us. You know what I'm saying? Typically, when we go into each podcast, we always ask our guests, what hood made you? What hood made DeMaris Harvey?
Yeah, man. So, originally, I'm from the east side of Detroit, man. I grew up on 7 Mile in DeQuinder, between 7 Mile and Nevada. Yeah, Yup. I went to Barbara Magnet. First of all, I went to Fannie Richards Elementary School off Otter Drive near 7 Mile. Okay. I went to Barbara Magnet Middle School. I don't even think my middle school is around anymore. And then I went to Persia.
Okay.
Yes. So shout out to the Dope Boys.
Man. East side all day.
Shout out K. Felder. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Now, everybody, of course, knows what you do and how you do it. Mm-hmm. But early on growing up, was there anything that you wanted to do besides what you are today?
Yeah, man. To be honest with you, I had 3 dreams. I wanted to be a physician because I have an uncle who's been a heart surgeon for as long as I can remember. Okay. I also wanted to be a Major League Baseball player.
I can see that, and everybody like DH. Yeah. I can see that.
No, that's why they call. That. So that's all right. So I'm gonna jump real quick, and then I'm gonna come back.
Go ahead, do your thing.
Industry term, like people had a hard time pronouncing my first name, right, DeMaris. So people are like, yo, all types of different names, and I'm like, nah, that's not. So just call me DH. But DH also means designated hitter because when I step on set, I'm knocking that thing right out the park. You dig?
Okay.
So
you think about that, yeah.
So
I got a new term for the 2023.
Hey, ain't no doubt. So then going back, and then my last one is running track. I started running track at a very early age, and I was extremely fast. As a young person. So those are my biggest 3 dreams, the things that I wanted to do, that I aspired to do when I was young.
Okay, wow. So even though you had these dreams, acting was still in there
from the beginning.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know you in elementary school you had a play.
Wow.
Was that Peter Pan?
You definitely did your homework, bro. Wow, it was, man. My first opportunity to act was Peter Pan, man. In elementary school, my Fannie Richards, which at then was kind of like a Catholic school. Okay. On the east side, man, and the drama department there was really developed for an elementary school, and I won the audition for Peter Pan. So yeah,
Oh, that's super dope.
I had to
Your
dress
first
up.
role was a leading role.
Man, was
Right,
a leading
exactly.
role, right? God was already positioning me
Right,
for what
right,
the future
setting you
was
up.
gonna be. So I had to dress in the tights and all of that good stuff, man. And I did it. I think I did pretty good. You know, I felt proud. I can remember the feeling that I had, you know, when I finished.
Okay.
And I made my mom proud, so that was really all that mattered to me.
Right.
That's
Right.
dope. That's very dope, man. And you know, speaking of your mom and you and acting,
Yeah.
do you want to tell the people about an incident that happened when you were 8 years old and you pranked your mother?
Whoa, bro, come on, that's getting scary. You really dove, man. Yeah, man.
People of Detroit, y'all already know how we
this
do
is
it.
legit. So, yeah, man, I was, man, I used to, you know, mess with my mom. I didn't even know that I was acting. I just knew that I just wanted to, you know, mess with her a little bit.
Yeah,
Being
yeah.
mischievous. I got a youngster. He do it all the time to me.
Being a little knucklehead.
I get it.
You know, so like one day, you know, my mom, she had just got to the crib and I'm messing around. She come in the room and see me on the floor. Now I try to stop my breathing. I didn't know how good it was, but she believed it. So I act like I was gone. And I'm not gonna tell y'all my nickname. That's gonna give y'all way too much. But she said, "Ooh, babe, what's going on? You all right? You all right?" She really thought I was gone, man. So
Wow.
then it was like developing what was already had
natural
already put
skill
in me.
you
It was a
said.
natural skill
Exactly,
set.
exactly.
Yeah. So wow, I can't believe you. Hey, all right, bro. That's love. All right.
You
all
already
right.
know we gonna hold it down
Yeah,
for
man.
each and every person that's sitting in this seat, man. You
That's
are
dope.
you have the hot seat today.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So
I'll
we
take
gonna,
it.
you know what I'm saying. But you know, after that, after you scared your mama half to
Ooh,
death.
wait.
I would have
You know
been
what I'm
trying to
saying?
She
strangle
messed
you.
me up. Yeah,
Yeah, I would have. Yes.
She got me.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you
For
ran
sure.
track. You had to learn how to
Oh,
run
bro.
just in case your
Period.
mama
Hey,
come back.
listen.
Because
I
ain't no
wasn't
way.
having it.
You gonna wish. You gonna wish you stop breathing because I'm about to get you. Period.
Yeah, I
God.
wasn't.
Don't play them
I
pranks.
was scared too.
And for my kids, because they watch this YouTube, none of y'all think about playing a
Hey,
joke.
do
that on
not
me.
Do
Don't
not
play
do
with your
it.
mama. You hear
Don't
me?
do it.
Please don't play with y'all mama out there, okay? Learn it from him. Do not
Please.
play with your mama. all
Don't
right?
try this at home.
Now, I know you spoke. You know, you going to performing arts as
Yeah,
well,
yep.
and kind of playing sports and going to performing arts, and kind of what did you learn during that time frame?
Yeah, so my middle school, man, Barbara was one of the best experiences that I had as far as academics. You know, my middle school, I learned so much in that time period from some of my drama classes, from my vocalist coaches. I even did dance at the time. So, you know, I did all of those things and then a little modeling at the time too. So I learned so much during that time. But I always had a desire to compete. You know, like I was just born with that. I wanted to compete. I wanted to play baseball. That was one of my first loves. And my mom wouldn't allow it because my grandfather, God rest his soul, DeMaris Harvey, you know, my pawpaw, he had a dream when I was a kid that something happened to my leg or something like that. And my mom was superstitious at the time, so she was like, "Nope, you ain't playing." Nah, y'all getting the real nitty gritty. There was a team called the White Sox. They used to practice near Derby Hill on the east side, right?
Okay.
I remember trying to sneak over and try out for the team. But it just so happened my bike had went missing, so I couldn't make it over there. So I missed out. But yeah, y'all getting that. I ain't never told my story. Yeah, she don't even know that.
It
Mom,
was fate.
I'm sorry.
God was on your mama's side.
He for sure.
He like, where you
was.
going? Oh no, your mama ain't here. Let me handle this.
It wasn't meant for me to
Nah,
do
you
it.
just
man.
not. That's not happening.
It wasn't meant,
Not
but
happening.
lo and behold, you know, I ended up getting in as high school came around. Ended up running track, so I kept up with that because I was still I had the athletic bug,
Right.
and playing football, and you know, and that transpired into me having an opportunity to go to school to play ball for a little bit. Played a little semi-pro, middle linebacker. So yeah, man, I did the athletic thing, but things end up turning around for me to come back to one of my first loves.
I mean, the arts, it seems to be what resonates with you the most. Though.
Most definitely.
Yeah,
I'm an
And you
artist.
still have ways, I guess you could say, in implementing your competitive spirit in your own lane when you challenge yourself to
true.
be better and better. So you're still technically doing both of the things you love. It's just in
Yeah.
a different capacity.
Most
You're
definitely.
competing with constantly want to fulfill your growth. And that's all right.
Most definitely, I agree. I feel like, even with this business, right? A lot of people feel like when it comes to other male actors, they feel like we competing, but really and truly, I've never been competing with any other male actor. I've only been ever competing with myself.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like you said, I mean, to potentially just grow and grow and grow as much as possible. And people always ask me, well, how you get this role and how you do this? And well, first of all, like I told y'all before, one part God's favor,
Yeah.
right? The other part is extreme amount of hard work that people don't see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That I don't post for social media. The endless amount of hours that I put in to grow in this craft and to develop as an artist.
Yeah.
But then it's also studying psychology, like understanding human nature, why our minds work the way they work, why
Right.
some characters, like when I'm doing my character development, why some of these men are the way they are. You know what I mean? That will make them womanizers or beaters or,
Right.
like, so you look at it in our culture and you're like, oh, that's just the norm. Well, no, there's something behind that, right? So as an artist who cares about developing this character that I want it to be believable. And the reason why I know it's believable because people love to hate me.
Right.
Right?
Because it's like
Yeah, yeah.
at the same time you putting yourself in that character,
Yeah.
but then you thinking about the character's problems, so you put yourself in that
Yeah.
character's problems as well.
Most definitely.
So it can resonate with how it's coming out on screen. Like,
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? You could think in your head like, okay, he was beat as a kid, so I'm gonna have the mentality like I was beat as a kid.
That part.
So this is why I act the way I do.
Exactly.
This is why I
Yup.
womanize. This is why. So
Which
I
is-
totally understand that.
Yeah,
But all
which-
of the greats do that.
They do.
We just had a conversation about that with when we were
We was watching The Last King of Scotland.
yes, and the story behind that is that he literally had to become Idi Amin. He was walking around acting like him when he wasn't
Yeah.
filming,
Yeah.
and he really submerged himself into that. And I think that's why he portrayed that role. We were both saying like he was scary and powerful and believable,
Most
and
definitely.
having that mentality and studying the psychology behind these characters. I mean, in my eyes, I don't know, when the year coming, but I can see some Oscars coming in your
Wow.
future.
No,
That's
that's,
love.
facts,
Like,
bro.
because
That's facts.
you're committed, and I just see some super Detroit excellence. So if y'all haven't, I gotta take a pause. If y'all haven't seen this man's films, definitely check in with Mr. Tubi.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate
And
that. That's love.
I can see that progression happening for you because it's nonstop.
Yeah, you know what? Genuinely appreciate that because I don't do this for recognition.
Absolutely.
I don't do it for notoriety.
Right.
I fell in love with the arts as a young boy. So whenever I have an opportunity to create a character or I'm given an opportunity to create life, right? I never take it for granted. It's never just work for me. It is an opportunity because it's about feel, right? People
Right.
assume because you're watching something that visually you're associating certain things, but it's all about the feel. You feel before you see.
Facts.
I can't explain it, but you feel a thing before you see it. So that being said, it's always a feel for me. I always want people to feel me, so to speak, right? And feel the character.
And I know you're not talking physically.
Yeah, yeah.
It could be a spiritual feel.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? It
Most
could be something
definitely.
that you feel inside. Like he
Most
said, I
definitely.
agree with you feel before you see what you, because you could be talking to a girl online, you can feel
Most definitely.
how
Yup.
you ain't even seen it yet,
You
but
ain't
you
even seen
feeling
it,
it
yeah.
before, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
it's an energy thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely energy for sure, man. And so I feel like going back to what you said, my time is coming, but I'm not looking at that. Will Smith and Emancipation. I don't know if y'all had an opportunity to see that yet.
I didn't check it out yet.
Listen, y'all have.
She been kind of biased on like slavery movies.
I understand.
So it's like she didn't want to watch it, so I didn't have the urge to.
I just didn't know if I was in the mood to consume trauma porn at that time. That was the only thing, but I'm sure it was an excellent film, and I do heavily support Will and watch a lot of his stuff.
That's my
me
right
personally, and it's not saying I was mad at him or any of his actions. I don't care about none of that stuff. It's just me personally. It's trauma porn. Even shows.
I respect that 1,000%, right? Because there are certain things that can trigger us. You know what I mean? Yeah. But when it comes to the artistry, that's the point of view that I try to look at it from. Because my family, when we watched it, everybody had their own point of view. But as an artist who wants to grow, I looked at it from what did it take for this man to get into that type of character? What did he have to sacrifice?
I did hear somewhere that he was speaking French in the film. I heard you say that. Oh
man, he did.
And it's like, what did he have to go through to learn that?
Sacrifice.
Because it's like you can't just come in just saying rinky dink accent.
Man.
You have to literally professionally come in here
and
do what you are paid to do. Do what you expected of you. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So it's like. Just that alone, like people can barely act and remember lines, let alone
become someone else
and put an accent on and act like you in slavery time and act like this. So it's just like it's so many levels to it. It's crazy.
It is, and people wonder why some of these actors are paid what they're paid. But you have to understand something. And I'm saying this for those that are watching. I hope people take this and receive it. Even on the production side, for those that are up and coming on the production side and the growing filmmakers, respect the artist. Respect those actors and actresses who really do this, who really put the time and energy in. When they tell you that, this is what they command as far as pay. Do your research if you have to. Who are they studying with? Do they have an acting coach? What are they? Because for those of us who are really putting this work in, it's not just about, I'm getting the script and I'm getting ready to read these lines in front of a camera. It is the intensive work that goes into developing this character, right? Creating the wardrobe around it, because I don't just allow, productions to, hey, this is what I division. No, because when I'm developing this character, I can see visually what he has on. I can see visually the look, the style, because I attach all of those things into who he becomes. You know what I mean? Right. The personality, the tics, the subtle nuances that create the total embodiment of who this person is going to give to the audience. You know what I mean? So going back, Emancipation was from my standpoint, that was Will Smith's best performance, because I felt like the sacrifice after everything that had happened to him in real life, he got back into his space of creating. And I think that it pushed him to solitude, to where he had nothing but the art. Ooh, I felt that so deep. He had nothing but his art. Brother. You know what I mean?
Preach.
And when you go to that space, there's endless amount of possibilities.
Wow,
I love this, man. I love.
It's crazy you said that. I just wrote that
I
in the car. I just wrote that in the car. What you said, not exactly, but of that nature. That's the message of today. I literally wrote that. There was a lot of celebrating going on last year, but this year I need supreme, laser, intentional, selfish focus.
That part.
I literally wrote that.
That part.
And pulling myself back from the events and different things, and the next phase takes focus, laser focus to accomplish these goals. So that solitude, I understand what that means. I understand that, and I think those type of, like you say, those type of sacrifices. But look at the outcomes.
Yes, most definitely.
Preach.
Well, that was most definitely the word right there. From Pastor DeMaris himself. Wow. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna bring it back a little bit. I want to talk about you during your college era, because you went to Vermilion Community College.
Wow.
Correct? And that's where you played ball?
I did. Yeah. So initially I had an opportunity to go play ball in Iowa. But then my kid's mother, she got pregnant with my oldest daughter, who just turned 18. Shout out to you, DeMaris. I love you, baby.
Shout out.
And man, and I had a decision to make. You know, go off to school or stay and provide for my daughter. You know what I mean? And at the time, you know, when you're young and you don't necessarily have good, and I hate to, this is not an excuse, but let's keep it a buck, right? And I'm glad I had a platform to say this. Mm-hmm. It is very typical in our community for people to feel like, well, if you don't have a male influence in your life, get over it, and you're still supposed to create something of yourself. Mm-hmm. We are at a disadvantage when we don't have male influences in our lives, young black and female, right? Individuals. So I didn't necessarily have that. So I thought to myself, this is what I feel in my spirit, that what I need to do is take care of mine, because I want to make sure she has protection that she's provided for, and I can do whatever I need to do to make sure she's good, right?
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I made the decision. Lo and behold, that worked out for a time being, and then life started happening, and then I had another opportunity to go away because I still had eligibility, so I went to a junior college, right? Okay. Which is what some individuals do when you kind of like, you know, long in the tooth, so to speak. I was only 19, 20, but I had missed that first couple of years, which is 17, 18, when usually college athletes go to school to play ball.
Right.
And I went and I played wide receiver in high school. That didn't necessarily work out when I got to Vermilion because the coaches changed. Mm-hmm. But the coach told me I could still come, but we're going to change your position. Play wide receiver, he moved me to linebacker. I was like, linebacker? Bro, I was like 170-something pounds. Like, linebacker? But it ended up working out because I ended up finding another passion for hitting people in their mouth.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Seriously, you got to become a dog for that. So yeah,
you had to be like very fucking good because you ended up playing semi-pro ball.
Yeah, man.
For 5 years, I believe.
It was about 5 years.
And it's just like that experience alone. It's like, it wasn't NFL, but it's like that's the same shit.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same type of intensity. It's the same type of people and size and stature.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So that's commendable within itself that you still was able to do that for 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Now, what team did you play for, and what made you stop playing?
I played for a few different teams. So, but to speak on what you like, semi-pro is nothing to scarf at because you playing with, first of all, with former collegiate athletes, former pro athletes, and grown men in general. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Who will take your head off. So I played for a few teams. I played for the Belleville Bengals. I played for the Detroit Ravens. Gosh, it was one more team and I can't remember. Forgive me. I don't know if y'all still around or not. I can't remember your name. But I played for these teams. I played linebacker for all of these teams. Some safety as well. And then, you know, it ended up transitioning into, all right, what's next? You know, so I kind of veered off from that because I was like, either I'm going to try to go pro from here or I'm going to leave it alone. And because of how my life was set up at the time, my first priority was maintaining my household, my family. You know what I mean?
Got you. Okay. Now, what was your first job after that?
Oh, man. Around that time, I think one of my better jobs was I started working at AT&T. That was one of my real, you know, coming out, you know, all right, this is the transition you're making, you know, into real productive citizen life. AT&T, and I did that, man, for a couple of years. And it was cool. I met some good people. I met some not so good people.
The wireless and communications life is interesting.
Yeah, it was, you know, I was a repair tech, going into people's homes and stuff like that. I don't miss that, you know. some people were very welcoming. Their home was pleasant, you know. But because of who I am in my spirit, like I can't walk in everybody's house. You know what I mean? So it just you know. So, but that was cool.
It's funny that you bring up AT&T because I have a very, very funny story, and just over time the way it happened is crazy.
Most definitely.
But I knew DeMaris back in 2015.
Yeah.
I worked as an assistant manager at a retail store.
Yep.
And he would come in like quite a bit. And, you know, he would tell me about, you know, I got my daughters today, or he just doing this, doing that, and we got cool. And he actually tried to get me an AT&T, but it just didn't happen.
It wasn't your calling.
It wasn't the time.
It wasn't
you know what I'm saying?
calling.
But we got real cool. You know what I'm saying? I got his number. He had my number, and I hit him up from time to time. But we never hung. But we were cool whenever he came my job. It was like, oh, what, yo.
Yep.
And the one thing that I want to bring up, bro, around that time frame that you would tell me, dog, like you told me your ambitions and what you wanted to do then. And you told me you wanted to model, or you were modeling at the time, and you were doing acting, but it wasn't like a lot, but it was light stuff here and there.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to be an actor out here, and, you know, I'm doing a little modeling, and, you know, and it's crazy when people tell you something, and then years later, they, like, are triumphant in doing that shit. This is the definition of that, because 2015, he told me this. This is what he wanted to do. And now we're in 2023. And it's like he is the man, Mr. Tubi.
But I hope y'all hear what he just said. He said that this was a conversation from 2015 when you first put it in fruition. You wanted this. So you clearly, it's a lot of people that think they're supposed to have a certain status, or they're supposed to demand certain things without putting the work in, or just seeing somebody doing something and think they can turn around and do it in a year. And it might have took this person 10, 15 years,
shit,
but
man.
it only looked like it took 1 year. So it's a lot of things that people really got to pay attention. It's okay to be inspired, but don't set out to compete and try to copy or mimic the path that someone else has, because it is not for you.
Preach.
So I just want to bring that up. This was a conversation in 2015. It looked like it happened overnight, but it was some work put in there. So we all got to put in some work to do what we need to do.
Sacrifice.
I mean, he has done commercials.
Sacrifice.
He has done voiceovers.
Sacrifice.
He has done, to this date, 38 movies on the books.
Hey, that's Mr. Tubi though.
38.
Oh man.
He has been in 8 plays.
Yeah.
Somebody did their homework.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody did their homework.
Hey, it's only right.
The ghetto journalism over there.
Hey, ghetto journalism at its best.
Step the journalism up.
So anybody out there with a dream, and it don't necessarily have to be acting. It could be any dream you want to do. You gotta stick with what you want to do. It will. I promise. It will happen. Because if you only do it for a year and then you get discouraged, guess what? It ain't gonna happen, because your willpower for doing it is gone now.
Most definitely.
You're gonna come across bumps. It's gonna be hurdles. It's gonna be things that's gonna be in your way that you think you will never get past or over.
Man, y'all preaching.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's Sunday service.
Man,
it's Sunday service. I swear. Like, and that's why, like, we base our podcast off just black motivation, motivating our black community, bringing on people on our platform that's, it ain't necessarily got to be all black people, but that's most of who we talk to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Our people, we want to make sure we want to put our people on the forefront, put our people first. Most you know definitely. What I'm saying? And we got to start here. We can't go out of town and start. Nah. We can't start. You got to earn your respect and all your everything here where you live. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mean to get too preachy. You know what I'm saying?
Talking, bro.
But you know what I'm saying? This was my man's, and then now I'm seeing his progress.
I think it's different when you see something coming to fruition for a person and like you were there.
Yeah.
Versus someone just sitting down and you're telling them how it happened.
Yeah.
But for a person to see it come full circle, I mean, I would hope for a lot of people that's inspiring.
Most definitely.
Because it's like, all right, you said you was gonna do that. I see you doing that. Let me step my game up and work on what I said I was gonna do. Thank you for that inspiration.
Yeah. So. You know what's amazing, and I appreciate both of y'all in such kind words, man. But y'all both spoke so much truth. I think that, you know, in the world we live in now, everything, People want things hot and ready. We live in such a hot and ready society because social media tells you, hey, you can go post a few videos and you can get viral and you can be on overnight, right? But for those of us who understand the real grunt work that it takes, right? Again, 2015. 2015 is when you met me.
Yeah.
But it had took years even before that.
Yeah.
I started in 2010. You hear me? 2010. My first opportunity came from Craigslist.
Oh yes, that's right.
Y'all hear that?
Craigslist.
Yes.
Craigslist. For you young bucks that don't know what
Don't
Craigslist
even know what that
is. Craigslist, it's like the offer up. It's like the Facebook marketplace of today. You know what I mean? Craigslist. I went on Craigslist looking for. I don't even think I was looking. I just looked in the arts subsection, and it said commercial looking for actors. I was like, this probably ain't real. But I took a chance, right? Because I'm a risk taker. That's another part of it. You got to be willing to take calculated risk. I was like, all right, I'm going to go to the audition. I went to the audition and I aced it, and God opened the door for me to have my first commercial that got played during the NBA playoffs that year. You know what I mean? So I had...
That was the click of the ticket commercial,
That was
correct?
the click of the ticket commercial. You know, so like that put me in a realm of thinking like, whoa, if I really put my mind and my heart and my ingenuity to it, I can make this thing happen. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And so from then on, I just started hustling and bustling, networking. I said when I got in this business, the one thing that I wanted to do was create real relationships with real people. Now, has that held up until this day? No. Only because, not because of me, right? But because when you deal with people that deal with pride and they deal with wanting to feel like they have ownership of something that you contributed to yourself, it becomes a very fickle thing, right? Nevertheless, every opportunity that God has provided for me, I'm extremely grateful for. Anybody that I've had the opportunity to work with in some form or fashion, I've learned from as well. So all of that being said, it takes an extreme amount of sacrifice, an unwavering desire and faith to believe that if you have a desire in your heart that you feel like God gave you and you know that this is what you're supposed to be doing, go forward with everything you got. I mean, we talking about, I was at this time, now I had got married. When I met you, I was newly divorced. And I had my 3 children. I had 3 children at this time, you know, and I had them full time. So we talking about working full time, being a father, managing my children all day, every day, and acting full time, traveling, going on auditions, taking calls, managing myself. I mean, through it all. So people are now seeing the fruits of my labor, but nobody really knows like the nights that I cried when I felt like, how am I gonna make this happen? You know, what am I gonna do next? Is this really what I should be doing? You know, the double thoughts, the feeling like, oh man, I need to go ahead and just go back into my bag and get, you know, stay focused on making money, because this ain't like, no, I sacrificed. I seen things that you probably shouldn't see. I've done things that, I'm not proud of, right? But I'm saying that, I'm being transparent, and I'm telling you all this because when you have a foreknowledge of who you believe God called you to be, you're either going to stay that path, right? Or you're going to allow yourself to be withdrawn and then divert into a life of misery. I made a decision. I did not want to live my life being miserable. And so in that, I was willing to sacrifice. So if you are somebody out here that sees this, I want you to know, if you had to make certain sacrifices, if you had to give up certain people, certain things for your dream, trust me, it is going to pay dividends 100-fold over. The only difference between individuals who aspire and those who do is those who do, they never quit. That's it.
Facts. Man, it's getting deep in here today.
It is.
It is getting very deep on the People of Detroit podcast. You know what I'm saying? My next question to you,
Yes,
man. Sir. I want to know Neon Detroit Nights.
Okay.
What stuck out about that movie compared to everything else you did?
Man, shout out to Quinn, man. How I appreciate him and his creative artistry. It was different than everything that I had done. You know, again, I'm from the East Side, playing these womanizers and these, you know, drug dealers. Man, listen, I had doughboys in my family. I seen that. It was nothing to transition, right?
Right.
But for me to have to play a futuristic cop who goes back in time and sees his parallel self, his younger self, that just pulled on my heartstrings, because it was like, this is not the norm. This is something that, you know, it was a challenge. Yeah. And I just appreciated the script. I appreciated, you know, working with everybody that was on set, all of the talent, the production. It was an amazing time, man. Just seeing the process and doing what we did on that screen, for that film, man. That's one of my favorite films, personally.
Yeah, for sure. That's why let me ask him about this, because I know it's something about that movie tugs his heartstrings, and I want to ask what was the difference from all these other movies you made compared to that.
So fun fact though, if you watch the portal scene, so go watch Neon Detroit Nights. I think it's on Tubi and Prime. Okay. But if you watch the portal scene where we like running, I think it's towards the end. I actually pulled my hamstring.
What?
Yeah, we were running. We were acting like we were jumping. I didn't stretch, right? I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Look, I'm sound like him telling me like you didn't stretch. You
got hurt. Look at you like you the athlete,
bro. Yeah, couple years removed, so I didn't stretch, and we start running, and I was cool the first time. But we had to continuously, you got to take a couple of takes.
Yeah, do it a few times.
Man, we jumping through the little quote-unquote portal downtown in Hart Plaza. And the next time we had to run, I felt it pop. Oh. And I was like, we kept going. We kept shooting. Mm-hmm. I just played it off, pushed through it, got it done, man. So that's a little fun fact y'all don't know.
So you pushed through it and cried in the car, because that sounds painful.
It was, man, listen, I got to check that out
football, just to see that scene.
I popped my hamstrings, each of them, at least 2 or 3 times before I finised playing. So
Jeez.
Yeah, it's extremely painful.
I don't think I ever went through that, but I had a Charlie horse or two, but I ain't never get to that point, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, with you, man, you got a lot of different characteristics under your belt, man. You're an actor, you're getting into directing world, the producing world, and hell, you are author too.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So, basics to becoming an actor for the love of the craft.
Yes, sir. On Amazon right now.
On Amazon right
now. There it is.
You know what I'm saying?
The game, there it is.
Can you explain to the people your motivation behind creating that book?
Yeah, man. So, I've over the years I've gotten people that would ask me like, well, how are you doing this, and what did it take, or how do I learn certain things? And behind the scenes, I would help this actor, this actress, try to develop certain skill sets, give them certain information. And I was like, you know what, at some point I'm gonna start teaching. So I started developing these classes and doing one-on-one teaching, but I'm like, I should probably create something that, is not thick and not long as far as like, reading, but something that can give you the basic understanding. Yeah. And so sat down one day, put it together, and God blessed me with the direction to get this book done. And it's been out now probably, this is a year now.
Well, congratulations on that.
Yes, congratulations. So you just tipping your head all type of ways, man. And I ain't even mad at it.
That's that Detroit hustling.
I love it.
I'm just being led where God is leading me. You know what I'm saying? So I want him to get all the glory.
No, for sure. Now, as far as you, she normally asks this question.
He always want to jump in.
Take your thunder.
I be flowing,
I mean, I get it. It's organic. I'm cool with the organic of it, but I want to know what's your favorite childhood memory growing up in Detroit?
Wow, so many. As a city, when people from the outside look into our city, because I traveled all over, like people are in awe. Everybody fears Detroit too, right? But most people are in awe of the idea of what it means to be from here.
Yeah.
And so, man, growing up, there were so many things. I think one of my greatest memories was, when I experienced the Babalo boat.
That's not our first answer.
The giant slide. Those type of things, going to Belle Isle, man. It was always a great time when family got together. Riding through my neighborhood on a bike. Growing up in the 90s, I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. I think that was probably one of the best eras for me specifically.
That was our best era as a society.
I appreciate the 90s
we probably
so
said
much.
that shit on like half of our episodes.
I think as of humanity, the 90s was our greatest
era. The 90s was
Amazing.
it. Like everybody, was just
everybody.
Daddy had money. Everybody was doing.
Yeah. It was a different time, man.
It was
it was a whole different time, man.
That's my decade, man.
Yeah. So I appreciate it, you know what I mean? And I think those memories were the ones that kind of stick out to me.
Okay. A little birdie told me that you were kind of good at skating.
Oh man. Yes, I got 2 pairs of skates. Now, it's been a minute. I'm not gonna cap.
You ain't as bad as me. I can't skate. So
really?
I always wanted to. I can't skate.
I'm decent.
I'm very clumsy and uncoordinated.
we gotta go skating there. But yeah, I got 2 pairs of skates. I taught my kids to skate. So they all love skating. But it's been a while. But quick story on that. One of my homeboys that I went to middle school with, growing up on the east side, he had a job at Skateland. So he actually taught me how to skate.
That's dope.
Oh, wow.
Our 8th grade year, he taught me how to skate. And then from then on, man, I just fell in love with it. And I've, been skating off and on since then.
Nice. And, I did my digging, and when I noticed that, I'm like,
every time you say that, I'll be like,
yeah, what are you about to say?
Oh, man. As far as DeMaris Harvey merch, is that something that's still available to everyone?
Yeah. To be honest with you, man, the only reason why I even did DHB, DeMaris Harvey brand, was because I had people asking me for like shirts, asking me to like sign stuff. And I'm like, I'm not necessarily doing this because, for the money for real, but like.
To get something to your family.
I'd be like, y'all want a $600 shirt? Because once I sign this shirt, I need about 6, 7, 8 the band or something.
No, charging for no autographs.
Real talk, I would never. But I kind of felt like I would do the poster thing, which I'm probably going to do at some point soon, actually. But I felt like the shirt thing was easy. I had a couple hiccups with it. Because I'm trying to focus on this, that, and the third. Right. So, some things you kind of got to delegate. And at the time, I didn't have anybody to delegate that to. So it was like, it's a very gray area.
You can only be in so many places.
Oh, my gosh. Before you wear yourself thin.
Okay.
So, but I say that I'm probably going to revamp it and revisit DHB probably the summer 2023.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, with 38, I'm gonna just say 38 plus because I know it's more coming.
Yeah.
With 38 plus movies under your belt, man, what was some of the best memories with just shooting any movie that you can remember? What was like some of the best times that you had or shared with anybody or anything of that nature on scene?
Some of the best times that I had probably won't ever be shown. Like it's just being on set, the camaraderie.
Oh, got you.
Of acting with some of your fellow thespians. You know what I mean? Like working with the actors and actresses that especially those that like really have a passion like I do for this craft. That you know, like in between scenes, you kind of can pick each other's brain, or even before you guys shoot. You know, you sit down and you talk about the nuances, the sudden things that you want to do that you feel that, or you would expect from your counterpart in the scene. Like those things are the things that really stand out the most to me, that I enjoy the most about being on sets.
Nice. Okay. And I know at some point, I mean, I know it was probably some years back, but you were like a personal trainer at one point too, right? Where you
I tried to dive in a little bit of everything, man. I was just hustling, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, after I got done playing ball, I was in, you know, some shape, and I tried to dip my hand into it, but it ain't last too long.
So they didn't keep your attention enough.
Yeah. Nah.
Well, now what? Why didn't it last? What was something that you were you running? Oh, the time man. Okay,
because that wasn't the only thing you were doing.
No, so many other things going on at the time. Yeah.
Nice. Well, not nice, but you know what I mean.
I just think it's dope you done picked up so many different skill sets.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like having all those different bags you can jump into. I mean, multiple streams, all right?
Goodness gracious. I mean, we talk about multiple different, like I went to school also I was going to school for information assurance. So for those that don't know, you know, that is ethical hacking, cybersecurity.
Okay.
Like, I thought that was what I was going to do, you know, at some point as well. So, computers, telecommunications, physical security, all type of, so I done it all.
Man.
So I want to know if there's anything that you can talk about that's coming up that you're excited about.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So I have a couple films that are getting ready. Well, actually, right now I'm in the middle of filming the Dirty D season 2.
Yeah.
And we did tune in for season 1.
Yeah,
Very dope.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Very dope.
Shout out to Miss Lisa Brown.
It's on TV right now.
Right.
Shout out to Miss LB, man. Phenomenal executive producer, director, writer, wardrobe. I mean, she does it all.
Everything.
Say the whole nine.
Yeah, she's phenomenal. But her writing skills are, you know, especially for our community, like people are drawn to, you know, that. And I think she has an eye when it comes to talent, like picking, you know, certain talent for particular roles. And then too, I think what I respect about her the most is that she not letting nobody sway her based off of how they feel about a particular thing. She's gonna follow her gut. I respect that because I've been that way since I got into business. Right. But yeah, so the Dirty D season 2 is getting ready to happen. What other films that I got coming up? I got a movie that I'm getting ready to shoot. My dog in Memphis, Krim. He's a rap artist in Memphis, Tennessee. They fly me out to do their movie. I have another movie in Cleveland that I'm doing right after that in February as well. And then I'm in talks to do another movie that I just got the script for to shoot in the end of February, I believe.
So if I'm counting that right, was that 4 or 5 films?
That's 3.
Oh,
4.
3, 4?
Yeah. Because what I'm doing right now, Dirty D, and then the other 3 films. Yep.
Okay.
And then that's gonna put you at what for Tubi?
Ooh, that probably put me over 40.
Come on, y'all.
Easy.
40.
Yeah. So
Easy.
they not so like, and what's crazy is all of the films that I've done, you know, they're not all on Tubi. They're not all on Prime. They're not all on.
They're on different platforms. Right.
They're spread out, but then also some that probably won't ever see the light of day, unfortunately, for, you know, business reasons or whatever the case may be. But the work was done. I was paid.
You fulfilled your obligation.
All of that. So
that's all that matters.
So it's an accomplishment. And then, again, every time that I step on a set, every time that I have an opportunity to create a character, it's adding value and substance to who I am as an artist.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
Okay. Now, I'm sure when you started to be the personal trainer that didn't work. So when you start doing a one-on-one acting coaching, I'm sure you found more enjoyment.
Most definitely.
In that. Can you explain to the people about the one-on-one acting coaching that you do?
Yeah, man. So I was like, all right, I got people randomly all the time like, yo, How can I be a part of this? I want to be a part of your movie. So people think that these films are mine. These films that I've been a part of, none of these films are mine.
You on the screen so much, people think you making it happen.
They're making them. And
I do know you have one script that you wrote, right?
Man, you've been digging, boy. Yes, I have a script. I'm gonna get to that.
Yeah, we can get to that. We was talking about just, you know.
So these movies aren't mine. I've been hired talent. And I've been fortunate enough to work with so many different people. But people were asking me like left and right, you know, how do I get into becoming an actor or actress? You know, what's the process? What do I need to do? You know, how can I learn? And I'm like, you know, I'm giving them little bits here and there, but I'm like, there got to be something greater that I can do, you know. So I developed a syllabus. I developed a way to be able to structure a small, you know, course to teach, and I put it together, and you know, God blessed me to be able to hold my first class.
Nice.
And then I start, you know, teaching individually outside of that as well. And matter of fact, you know, I get to break the first announcement. I am going to do another acting class for a group this year, probably in March. Yep, probably in March. Oh, speaking of things that we got going on, I'm working with my sis Taylor, and she lives in Dallas. Phenomenal director, writer. We have a series that we're getting ready to put out. So I'll be going to Dallas in a couple of months just to scout, you know, work with her team or whatever, and put that together, because what we're getting ready to do, it's getting ready to be something incredible.
Now, I think I know what you're talking about. I might be wrong.
Okay. I'll tell you.
Is it the deal you just signed with the VTV network?
No, that's something completely different. But I'm glad you brought that up. So, yeah, I just signed a deal with VTV network, which is a black-owned television network.
Yeah.
They are
big ups. Hey.
VTV, shout out to VTV. And matter of fact, y'all getting an exclusive, because I haven't even posted that on my social media yet. So nobody else knows that. Y'all got a raw exclusive.
Y'all hear first.
I ain't gonna tell you how I know.
Straight up. So that being said, yes, VTV, we're partnering because my production company, 10,000 plus, is working with VTV to put out content on their platform. So I'm gonna be doing TV shows.
That's super dope.
Podcasts.
Yes.
So this is all going into that production realm. So you're gonna be producing now.
I'm producing, directing.
And that's what you're doing in.
Because you already gotta be EP and stuff, right?
Already, yeah. So this is going to be under that umbrella of me producing these different entities and pushing it to that platform, which, you know, Roku TV, Fire TV, Amazon,
right.
Apple.
Nice.
So many different platforms in India as well. So this is gonna be this is an incredibly big deal.
Nice.
And I'm excited because I actually am in a position now where I get to give other creatives an opportunity to be showcased and broadcast, you know, around the world.
So if you ever need us to document any process,
we got work to do.
Yeah, we got
work to do. Seriously, we do. We got work to do.
Hey, man, we all here for it, man. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to find our place in this world.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Respectfully. We not trying to step on nobody's toes or do anything of that nature. You know what I'm saying? One interesting thing I thought about, as I would watch your movies, and I know that sometimes you would get scripts for you, designated for you. Then you have scripts that ain't got nothing to do with how you are, right? Which scripts interest you more? The scripts personally wrote for you?
That challenge me. So the ones that challenge me are the ones that have nothing to do with, you know,
who
me.
you are exactly.
And most of the characters, I'm gonna keep it above. Most of the characters that I've played, they have nothing to, like, they're nowhere near who I am
Polar
as a
opposite,
real man in real life. I'm not a womanizer. I'm not a beater. I don't beat women. I could never put my hands on a woman like that. I know if I could squeeze the life out of a grown man, I could never do that to him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know, I'm not a snake. I'm not a, you know, all of those characteristics of the characters that I played. Those are not mine. genuine character in real life. You know?
And anybody that follows you on Instagram would know that.
Most
because
definitely.
you definitely
Yeah, that's true too.
put a lot of positivity. You speak a lot of life. It's a lot of motivation on there.
Yes.
So definitely tap in because
sure.
you will catch some messages and inspiration on quite frequently, actually.
Most definitely.
You post,
I'm wrapping it up.
Yeah, you
I
post
feel like God is leading me to speak life, man, into people. So that's what I'm gonna do.
That's a blessing.
It's actually one instance that I seen you out and about. I was at work. It was funny, and I'm a mailman, so I work for the post office, and I work in Taylor.
Okay.
So this one particular day, I was on my route, and I came into this Coney Island. I seen you.
Really?
The only reason I didn't speak to you because you were sitting with Hoops. And
Wow, I remember that day.
You remember that day?
I don't remember seeing you, but I remember that day.
I came in.
Wow.
I was like, damn, that's DH. But he's sitting with Hoops. They probably on some movie shit. Swear to God.
See, like I'm
This
not,
is
about
exactly what I
to, I'm
thought.
not about to step in no business right now.
That's exactly what I thought. I
I'ma be
said,
cool.
and lo and behold, First Lady and all these movies
But
came
but
out.
think about how many people wouldn't have gave us shit and would have walked up.
Facts.
Hey, what's going
I
on,
swear.
y'all?
I just seen you was sitting there, and this was the Coney Island on my route at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I came there, dropped
Right
the
on
mail off.
Telegraph.
Right
So
on
you didn't
telly.
even know you walked in on the beginnings of something being created.
Crazy, right?
For sure.
And I'm like, damn, he's sitting with
Dang,
Hoops.
bro, you really was there. It was like you was
Yeah.
there. Behind the scenes, behind the scenes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's
But
dope.
I'm not a creep, so I
Nah,
see things.
bro.
I see things and I peep.
You just in the right place
and
at
I
the right
remember.
time.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
all.
He's like, I ain't gonna interrupt. I'm gonna just.
And the irony was, I'm seeing you again at my other job.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? Like on
crazy.
some crazy stuff. But I knew at that time. I think it was about what year was that? It probably was about 2018
We
or
was
something around there.
Yeah, we were having a discussion about the film First Lady 1, and you know how we were going to approach it, kind of building the relationship.
Yeah, because that's
right?
some type of on-screen chemistry between
We
the
had
characters.
to,
Yeah,
right?
y'all
For it to
gotta-
work.
We had never worked together before, and she was such a professional. You know what I mean? I sincerely appreciate that, being the professional that I am, working with other professionals, right? And people and how people approach their craft.
Yeah.
And she was such a professional, man. We still cool to this day.
Shout out Hoops.
Yeah,
Shout out Hoops, for
Shout out
sure.
to Nicole, man. I love you.
Yes.
You know, she's giving me some great advice. You know what I'm saying? Over the time being there, I've known her, man, and it's always a great energy. You know, when we see each other. So,
We almost
it worked.
had her on the podcast back in July,
Okay.
but I know she don't live here,
No,
so
she
that
don't.
kind of made it hard. I think she's staying like Tennessee or some
She do.
random off state.
Yeah.
And somebody that I know her, grew up with her, mutual friends with her, and I'm cool with this individual. So
Yeah.
I said, hey, reach out to Hoops for me, and I did the professional way as well. They did reach back out with the email, but it was like, that's cool, we could do it when she come back. And I'm like, damn, we
You
about
know,
to get
everything
that.
has to be in divine order.
But I know she
Yeah,
she comes up
definitely.
here every summer.
She does,
so I
yeah.
tried to catch her, but couldn't catch her. But
It happened when it's
Hoops.
supposed to.
it's gonna happen. Timing is
Yeah.
everything. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
indeed.
For sure.
And yeah, man, I
It's
enjoyed
been
this
a
interview,
great
dog.
interview.
Thank you.
We've
I
had a good
enjoyed
time.
this interview,
sincere.
dog.
I hope we became your favorite.
And listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Shout out to every other podcast that I've done thus far.
Yeah, no
But
shade.
y'all, no shade, bro.
No
Y'all
shade.
definitely are my favorite.
Hey,
We appreciate it. We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
we
that's
appreciate the love, man, because I know you busy, so it's like we try to make sure we can fit inside the time
man.
frame given.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
But it was all
appreciate it.
love. It wasn't no biggie or anything like
Yeah.
that. But man, anytime you want to come back, you got a red carpet. We'll come out there, hold it down
That's
for
a
you
fact.
for the movie,
That's
the
a
whole
fact.
nine. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Cause I'm gonna get your contact before
Yeah.
you leave.
Okay.
And yeah, man, we gonna be in
We
touch,
locked
bro.
in.
We
Yes,
gonna be in
indeed.
touch for
Locked
sure.
in.
So, tell everybody where they can follow you.
Listen, if you don't already know, you sleep. Let me wake you up real quick. It's like, no, I'm just joking. Instagram at DeMaris Harvey. That's at DeMaris Harvey. Or just Google me. I'm also on Facebook, DeMaris Harvey.
I can't wait to say that.
Yeah.
Just Google me.
So just Google me.
I can.
Yeah.
Google
Okay.
Dahlia the Poet.
Okay.
She actually can say that.
You can Google.
Yeah.
But it's okay. You Google her, you Google me too. How about that?
Yeah. Hey,
We are one.
let's not forget this
Oh,
gift. Though. Let's talk about
Oh
that gift.
yeah.
Let me get my gift. So they gave me a gift, and I'm super excited because none of the other podcasts have given me anything. It's like, no, I know Shane. I'm just talking stuff. But no, I'm super appreciative, and I don't know what it is just yet. So you want to tell them what?
So, one of the podcast sponsors is Natural Nation LLC. It is a handmade skincare company where I've been producing these products for 5 years, but we've been legitimized as a business since 2019.
Check that out.
That is Frost Aloe Vera,
Let's go.
White Tea Ginger Aloe Vera soap.
Because my dry skin, I need this. You hear me?
Listen, no ashy in 2023.
Listen,
no
I
ashy.
need
But
that.
see,
Check that
DH, we got a plethora
love.
of different things. We got soap, body butter, beard balm,
all of
like
that.
the whole nine.
Yes,
Okay.
that is a sample of the original butter, which started the entire skincare side
Really?
of the brand.
Yep.
My son has eczema, so I
Smells
started
so.
with it.
I do too on my
So
face.
that's perfect.
Yo, and it smells so rich.
Yes.
I love this. Thank you guys so much. For
Yeah,
that.
for sure, man. All natural too, man. All natural.
Love it. Thank y'all.
Yeah, man, anytime, man. I'm glad you appreciate that.
Oh, man,
you know what I'm saying? We do got a website, so if you ever get to the point where you
Yeah.
want some more,
Oh, say less.
check the hit the
Say
website,
less.
or hit
I'ma
me.
post it, too.
You can hit me personally and be like,
Yeah.
yo, drop it. I got it. Just pull up. Woo, woo.
Yeah.
We
I'm gonna
there.
post it on my stories, man, on my Instagram and Facebook too.
Bet, man. Much love, bro.
Appreciate you.
We
Appreciate
appreciate you,
Thank
man,
you so
all the
much, man.
time.
Thank you so
Your
much.
energy.
Yes.
Everybody out there in YouTube world, y'all already know what it is. In the meantime, in between time, it's your boy, Sir LA.
And it's me, your girl, Dahlia.
And we greatly appreciate y'all for rocking with the Pod 313, aka the people of Detroit.
Yes,
Big
indeed.
shout out to the homie right here, DeMaris
DH.
Harvey.
Mr.
DH.
Tubi.
Mr.
Appreciate
Tubi in the
Appreciate
building. Y'all already know what it is. Sir LA, we in it.
Let's support your own, man. Like, and I genuinely So let's tell the story real quick, bro. So y'all getting some exclusive stuff back in 2015.
2015.
Nah, your boy was I had applied to AT&T. I got an AT&T.
Yeah.
And for y'all that don't know, like getting into a big conglomerate like that is extremely difficult. But I got blessed from hard work, got in that joint. I was working. I was staying in the city called Garden City at the time. And my dog was managing a store over there at the time.
Yeah.
I would go in there often because I stayed in the area. So when I get off work, I come kick it, whatever, and we vibe. We vibe from the beginning.
Yeah,
Lo and behold, I end up moving. We lost touch. Years later, he tapped in with me like, yo, bro, what's up, man? Boom, boom, on a professional level, I would love to have you on our podcast. We was like, yeah, all right, all right, let's make it happen. Boom, boom. We set up a date. The date did not happen. Let's just say that. It didn't happen.
It was a small discrepancy.
Yo,
that's all right?
Minor. But we were able to reconcile it, and look what is happening now, man.
Yes,
Things
yes.
have come to fruition, man. So we definitely am about to give y'all the real on this podcast,
Yes.
man.
And y'all already know we in the building. It is the Pod 313, the People of Detroit podcast. DeMaris about to come in here, tear it up. We about to start in a few minutes.
Yeah.
We just wanted to let y'all get a sneak peek of what's about to come. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we got my fiance over here as well. And yeah.
Big
Got
dog in the
Rico
back.
right there.
Getting
you know
to
what
work,
I'm saying?
doing all the behind the scenes work.
Y'all don't see this on camera. Y'all just see the talking. You know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all see?
I'll bring it back up when it's time to present it, cause I gotta look in the bag. They got me gifts too, y'all.
Okay.
It ain't a game. Like they went all out to show your boy love, so we locked
Facts.
in for sure.
Facts. Appreciate y'all out there. You know what I'm saying? When this interview drop, I hope y'all check it out because it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be the best interview that he ever got. No disrespect to nobody else, but
talk.
that's how you gotta. That's how you gotta move
Yeah.
when you got your own brand, you got your own stuff. You gotta
Yeah.
move confidently.
Yeah.
It could be somebody out there doing more than you, but if you let that get to your mental, it's not gonna let you get to what you gotta do.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I tell people, when you in your own lane, you can go as fast as you can.
Ooh. I'm
So
taking
I'm just
that
letting
one.
y'all know.
I'm taking that one, bro, for sure.